Welcome to Marketing Coffee Hour. Today is December 7th, 2023. Anna Tuchin is our guest trainer today. She is the principal of the Trusted Bookkeeper. And her topic today is how to find cash in your business in 7 steps. Anna helps business owners who don't have time to work on their bookkeeping and would much rather use their precious time on activities that need their full focus. She truly enjoys working with numbers and making sure her clients have accurate figures and someone in their corner to help decipher them. It's amazing how attentive bookkeeping can pave the way for informed business decisions, less anxiety, and greater profitability. Welcome, Anna. We're excited to learn from you today.
Thank you, Candace. Awesome. So yes, I am Anna Tuchin. I'm the owner of the Trusted Bookkeeper. I run my bookkeeping agency for the last 5 years, and we serve business owners like you in many different industries, from real estate investors to DJs, digital marketing agencies as well. Okay, so today I will show you the main steps you will be given in the next 7 days. Actually, I'll touch with it later, and I'll talk about the 7 steps today. I would like to start with the step number 1. So the most important step is create a business bank account. So why separating your personal and business expenses is so necessary? So what to look for a great business bank account, online versus personal, why you need a bank with view-only bookkeeper access, know your bank caps and limitations, my favorite banks for business owners. That's what we're going to talk about today. I will put it in the chat later, the links I will be, and the businesses I will be talking about today. So one of my favorite is the Relay Financial Online Business Bank. It's very friendly for business owners. Relay Financial will allow you to bank without fees or minimum balances that tie up cash. Will allow you to organize expenses and cash reserves using 18 checking accounts and 2 savings accounts, 1 to 3% interest earnings. Manage spending with 50 physical and virtual MasterCard debit cards. Send and receive ACH transfers, checks, and wires with built-in currency exchange and no fees at all, even if you send money overseas. So personalized customer support, and the most important for me as a bookkeeper and for you if you run your books in QuickBooks Online, that it flawlessly integrates and syncs with QuickBooks Online and provides your bookkeeper with the statements and checks images, which is very important if someone else running your bookkeeping. Between other banks, I like big banks like Wells Fargo. They have all of these features, but you have to pay for every step. It's kind of adds up. It's getting expensive, though it's not the most expensive bank out there. But if you don't like big banks, then of course your local credit union will work too. Unfortunately, with local credit unions, there's not always they can be connected to QuickBooks Online. Not that easy to give your bookkeeper view-only access, which is allow bookkeeper to get into your bank account, not do any transfers. They're not touching your money. They just taking a look at your statements, downloading statements, and looking at your checks images for, of course, to track the expenses. All right. Do you have, or should I do question Q&A after, Candace? Okay.
Questions on bank accounts. Can you share the name of that bank again?
Yes, I will put the link in the chat after I finish. Just my screen sharing right now is kind of working the way I don't want to be distracted. So I'll give you a link to the Relay Financial.
Okay.
Awesome. So day number 2 or step number 2, it's audit your expenses. Why quarterly expense audits are essential for a great cash flow. How to audit your expenses, when subscription costs are eating your profit, and how your business can save about $1,200 per year, $1,200 per year by auditing your expenses. So I will explain a little bit now, but also at the end of this presentation, you will be given a link to subscribe, and you will receive 7 emails where we'll describe it all very thoroughly through this, and we can give you a workbook to sort of these expenses. So unfortunately, there are so many apps out there that can help you productivity, can help you marketing, this and that. And we, like a kid in a candy store, we buy all of it sometimes and forget to unsubscribe. So to go through your expenses at least once a quarter and look at them critically and think, okay, this doesn't do me any good, unsubscribe, or pause, or so it will bring, like I said, about $1,200 per year, which is $1,200 in your pocket. Step number 3 is to consider the expense of your people. So if your business at the level where you're hiring people or even hiring a contractor, people are usually the biggest expense for your company. I see through my clients, for example, digital marketing agencies, about 60% of their expenses, they people. So that's why it's so important to hire slow and fire quick. Do your due diligence, go for look at people carefully and then hire. If you currently scaling, there are things you can do to reduce expenses as you hire new members for your team. So there are few tips. Outsource to contractors instead of hiring employees to save on taxes. Considering hiring young but exceptional talent to get great employees at a lower cost. Consider finding talent overseas. Consider your profitability ratios before you hire. Employee cost, like I said, could take 60% of your gross profit. Hire quality employees, losing them often is expensive. So here, this step, a potential savings at $2,000, and this data taken out of the surveys for small business owners who run service-based business. It's about $2,000 if you run remotely, hire remotely employee to replace an employee, to hire. The whole process about $2,000 per person. So there are savings, depends how many people you hire. Okay, next one would be understand your cash flow. Switching from invoicing to recurring ACH transfers can save you a lot of money. And that, of course, depends on your gross revenue and how you charge, if you're sending invoices and how you're receiving these invoices. So know the cost of the late payments, why overdraft fees should always be avoided, and save about $4,800 per year by improving your cash flow. And I want to say about this a few things. So if you ACH with the tool which called Melio, this ACH are free of charge. If you ACH payments through QuickBooks Online, this is 1%. If you ACH or wait for the client to pay through invoice with the credit card, it's about 3 to 3.5%. So to cutting this cost in putting in your contract that this is the way you're doing business, you're receiving payments through ACH, and being upfront with your clients, usually taken very well by clients. That's what I do, and everybody understands. That's how I run my business, and they sign the contract and provide the ACH. And I can also provide you with the template, what you need to say to your clients to get authorization for automatic recurring ACH transfers if you're running your business on retainer, like it's the same cost every month. It works very well. All right, then let's go to day number 5 or step number 5. It's all about your home office expenses and mileage deductions. I will provide you at the end of this presentation with the Excel spreadsheet where you can just plug your numbers and calculate the cost of your home office expenses. You can save, believe me or not, depends on the size of your office and the size of your house, up to $6,000 in home office expenses. So deduct your home office expenses on a quarterly basis. What accounts as a home office expense? Best practices for tracking mileage, which is also in the same Excel spreadsheet, mileage tracking. And should you deduct mileage or gas costs and, like I said, savings up to $6,000. So what accounts as a home office expense? It's home office, it's the area which you only do business. It cannot be your kitchen table and office for your business. It cannot be your bedroom and office for your business. So if you have a bedroom in the area in this bedroom, which is your desk, this is only area of your desk will be a home office, counted as a home office, and this square footage you need to apply to total square footage of your house. But if you have a separate room like I do, you can apply the whole amount. So in this, and let me actually share with you on a screen this form which I'm talking about. It will make more sense. So yes, you will just plug your numbers here, and that's how it goes. In the gray area, you will need to add your numbers. So this is let's say your house is 1,000 square foot and your home office is 100 square foot. So the 10% of the expenses like rent or mortgage or property taxes, a home office and home office insurance, utilities, and even HOA fees can be deducted, 10% of all of it. But also variables like repairs, cleaning, lawn care, guys, and other expenses can be deducted from your taxes. And you can do on a tax level when you file your taxes if you are single member LLC, sole proprietor, or if you elect to file as S Corp, you actually reimburse yourself. You have to reimburse yourself if you want to get these deductions every quarter. And that's called accountable plan, which is you will establish with your CPA. Okay, so repairs. We talked about miles, how you can save on miles. So if your business owns your vehicle, then track the actuals. Track the gasoline, track the repairs of this vehicle, everything what is connected to vehicle. If your business does not own a vehicle, you use your personal vehicle to go to the airport if you travel for business, or to the meeting here locally in town. All of this, track the mileage. It will bring you greater return on investment. And I'll give you a short example. For me to go networking in person, the closest BNI meeting, which is I am in, is like 50 miles away. So one way 50 miles, another way 50 miles is 100 miles for me for business purposes, traveling. And it takes about quarter of my tank. So quarter of my tank, I am, let's say $40 just for the purpose of this exercise. So if I track gasoline, $40 per tank, and a quarter, it's just $10. That's what I can deduct. But if I track mileage, you can see every mile government reimburses us, we can deduct 65.5 cents per mile. It's a $65 compared to $10 if I only track gasoline. So why is the difference? Because we do not account to vehicle amortization, all of this stuff, repairs, when we just track gasoline. And then other expenses like internet costs, cell phone, these are a little bit different. This you need to apply percentage. If you use your internet 50-50, business and home, then you split 50. If it's 20-80, then you have to split this way. And then travel costs. Very often when we travel, we sometimes forget to take our business card or something, I don't know, paid with our personal. So any out-of-pocket expenses can be tracked in this spreadsheet as well and get reimbursement on this as well. So this is the home office and miles. Then so let's.
And I want to give the audience an opportunity to ask questions on that one because I know that one can be confusing. So are there any questions about home office and mileage expenses? This is a big one and you could save a lot of money on this one. Nothing?
Nothing. Okay, that's
Okay,
fine.
moving on.
Yeah, you can always ask questions at the end if you like. So let's take a look. So far, with all this, with all these steps, you could save up to $14,000.
Well, Suzanne asked if you can have a bed in your home office.
Bed.
A bed.
I have a couch. It's a kind of borderline, and I will consult with your CPA, your whoever files your taxes, your accountant on this. It should be not a bedroom, not used as a bedroom on a regularly basis. So if it's most of the time, like let's say 99%, it's an office, and maybe I don't know if the kid is visiting 1 week a year. I think that's okay. But again, ask your CPA on this, but it should be most of the time your office, not the bedroom. So let's see. Audit your expenses, $1,200 per year, potential savings, hiring the right people, $2,000 potential savings, optimizing your cash flow, which is, again, I want to say it's a 4,800 savings per year, but I want to add one more small thing about optimizing your cash flow. It's not only your credit card fees, it's also when you collect payments and when you pay. So the best practices is to collect payments in the first part of your month and pay your employees or contractors or expenses in the second part of the month. And the last one is $6,000 is potential savings in home office and mileage expenses. So it's up to $14,000 so far. The next one I will be talking about is to switch to S corporation when it makes sense. It's not for everyone. So S corporation status saves you money by allowing you to pay FICA taxes on only part of your business income. This can reduce your yearly tax expense up to $5,000 or more. And I will provide you with the link called beforetax.com. It's a calculator where you can calculate actually how much you can save if you. But in general, I'll tell you, if you make about $80,000 to $70,000 in net profit, then you can definitely have a savings on filing as S corporation. You have to calculate into it and talk to your CPA about this because you will have some additional expenses with S Corp. You would need to hire yourself as employee and pay yourself a salary, so spend on payroll expenses. And you would need to file separate tax form for S corporation. So it's going to be 2 forms, which is going to be a little bit more expensive to pay your accountant. So yes, and that's exactly, am I a good candidate for S Corp status? So S Corp is more expensive and it's best for companies making, like I said, $70,000 to $80,000 per year. Consult with your CPA before switching to S corporation for specific guidance on your business. But there can be potential savings like $5,000, and I have seen it through my clients. All right, and step number 7, it's to hire a bookkeeper. So benefits of hiring a bookkeeper: more time and focus on your business, avoid wasting time on the consuming bookkeeping and use that time for sales, marketing, and other revenue generating activities. Basically, do what you love and do the best. Worry less about your tax bill. Here at the Trusted Bookkeeper, we know your books, we know your industry, we know your struggle. You will never again guess about your taxes or your estimated taxes or payroll questions. Boost your decision-making power. Using your bank account to decide what you can afford, it's a costly mistake. Work with us to make a big decision with confidence. At this step, you can save up to $5,000 per year if you pay yourself $150 per hour and spend 6 hours a week on bookkeeper. So we also provide advisory services. So how advisory services boost your company's decision-making power? Our advisory services include 4-step agency success formula, where we help you with your cash flow optimization, KPIs monitoring, accountability, and much more. So if you're interested, schedule a consultation call. You can scan this barcode, have questions, get in touch, scan the QR code, and book an appointment. And I will stop sharing and post all of these links that I mentioned in the chat room. And I just want to show you one more, which is before tax. I may share back. I want to show you very quickly how it works, the calculator. It's okay, which one I'm sharing? Can you tell me which screen I'm sharing?
We see your slide deck.
Okay, slide deck. Awesome. Okay, so this is the calculator I was talking about to determine if it's time for you to switch to S Corp or not. So you go into calculators here, calculators, S Corp tax savings, and here you enter your business net income. So business net income is what you made gross revenue, let's say $100,000. You paid your expenses, let's say $25,000 or $20,000 or $50,000, depends, right? So I live in Iowa, I'll put it Iowa. Business net income, let's say, for example, $80,000, and reasonable salary for your area, for your business, like in your industry, let's say 45. So reasonable salary, also consult with your CPA, because there are few things that you need to get into account. You may be CEO of your company, but you also may be a cleaning lady. So if you're a CEO paying you $150 per hour, as a cleaning lady, you're paying yourself 20 or 15, I don't know. So there is a good balance how much you can pay. But let's pretend this, and then you can expand here and put here, keep as a sole proprietor, disregarded. Here you can switch single or married. And total revenue, let's say your total revenue is about $120,000 per year. It's a gross revenue. And if you have a job, like day job, and you run your business on the side, then enter your W-2 income estimated or from the previous year. Don't enter your spouse's income if you're filing jointly. Okay, so, and click update. So in this example, we save $4,000 savings, and they show you how much you will pay in taxes as a sole proprietor. C Corp, it's at least, I think many of us not interested yet. And then S Corporation if you file, and they break it down here for you very detailed. So let me stop sharing and post in the chat what I just promised you.
I want to put that in perspective for you. So you absolutely do need a CPA to do your taxes if you're an S Corp. So you pay $2,000 to your CPA, you still save $2,000 on your taxes.
Right, and I know some CPAs who charge less than $2,000. So if you need one, get in touch. So here is in the chat, I'll put Relay Financial, then before tax S Corp calculator, and book with me if you're interested, not to book, but sign up for this sequence of 7 emails where I will in detail again, explain to you how to save this money and also provide you with the workbook. Okay, and the last one I want to upload is this mileage and home office deductions spreadsheet. Okay.
Who here is actually tracking their mileage? Are you actually tracking your mileage? So right there, most of you could save money if you started tracking your mileage.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to find it. Oops. Okay, so I just saw it. Meanwhile, I'm looking for the spreadsheet. Anyone have questions?
Everybody has questions, but they're afraid to ask them. If you want to DM me the question and then I can ask it for you on your behalf, if you're embarrassed to ask, you can do that.
Awesome. Okay, so this is the additional deductions. It's called additional deductions, and it's good for single member LLC. So S corp have to reimburse themselves through the year. LLCs can file it, track it, and file at the end when you're filing your taxes.
Suzanne mentioned that she hasn't been tracking going to her 5 mile BNI meetings, but 5 miles adds up. 5 times 52, it adds up.
5 times 52, 250 about miles, right? 250 miles, 65 cents per mile. It adds up. It's about how much?
$85-ish?
$200.
Yeah.
Oh, I was way off on the math.
Somewhere there.
If it's a 5 mile one way, then you double that.
Exactly.
You said it's 5 mile away, so it's actually 10 miles.
Oh, it's 10 miles. That's true.
That's 500 miles a year.
Marianne says, I use an app that tracks my miles. That's great, Marianne. And I actually can suggest a couple of good tracking apps. Mile IQ is one of the best, in my opinion. Verizon can track your mileage, and your QuickBooks Online app, if you have QuickBooks, can track your miles as well.
Did you say Verizon? Was that the second one you mentioned?
Yes.
So your Verizon telephone will track your miles for you?
Yes, I need to verify it, but I have read about the Verizon. I haven't done it myself, so I track it with my QBO, QuickBooks Online app, but I have read that Verizon is also. There is another one that I don't remember right now, which if you have employees or contractors going in a different few vehicles, if you have a fleet like plumbers go in a different, so they can be tracked very well with that app. I'll get back to you on this one. Hurdle, there's many good apps, right? But this is the free of which I can recommend. Awesome. So
a lot of the folks in the room right now are network marketers. Okay. So they don't own a traditional brick and mortar business. They own a network marketing business. What are some best practices you can suggest for them?
So everybody is remote.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, home office and mileage, it's your first mileage less home office. It's your huge expense there. How do you collect payments? It can be a huge expense or savings there, right? We all collect not with the machine, which is in, but online. So many of us use Stripe or Square, which they do track a lot of, they do charge you a lot, that's for sure. So there is one app, like I mentioned before, Melio.
What about meeting in restaurants for meetings, business meetings?
If you meet in a restaurant, what do you mean? What about it?
Is your meal deductible?
When you're meeting a client to discuss business.
Meals 50%, all meals now. When while it was pandemic, they kind of removed it. It's made 100%. Now it's back to before the pandemic. It was 50 for local meetings and 100 for travel. Now every meal is 50% if you travel or local. If you run, let's say, Christmas party in your office, which, like Candace just said, you don't have, that would be 100% entertainment for employees would be 100% deductible.
You could also do it for clients, right? Entertainment for clients would be 100% deductible.
Entertainment for clients is deductible, but also gifts to clients, you can provide only $25 a gift.
Oh, so if you're giving gifts to your clients, 25 is the max you can deduct.
Yeah. Again, all of the information I share with you today, that's the, I am not a CPA, so verify all of this with your CPA. It's just for your education, it's for your information. So legal disclaimer here very quickly.
Does the $25 cap count for gifts to your team as well? So your colleague,
Team, I have to, I have to verify that. I don't remember. I think so.
I'm going to assume that it's a network marketing team, in which case they count as clients, not necessarily. They're not employees. They're
gifts kept at 25, donations kept at 300, by the way. When you personally run your taxes as an individual, then donations, whatever you want, right? But as a business, you can only deduct 300 from your business expenses.
Another important point: political donations from your business are not deductible.
Yes.
So if you make a donation to a politician, it is not deductible.
Right. Now, if you're using contractors to help you run your business, file 1099s. It's not on the schedule for on this, not on the plan to talk about this on this presentation, but I just will share with you that it's a very complicated decision tree, who we file 1099, who we not. So to help you with that, if you hire anybody like myself, bookkeeper or digital marketer, or even attorney, use attorneys for whatever purposes, ask for W-9s. In these W-9s, they will provide you with information. If they mark as the S corporation, you don't have to file 1099. If you pay everybody with your credit card, you don't have to file 1099. Only if you pay through Venmo and Zelle friends, Venmo, Zelle business, you don't have to provide 1099. Venmo and Zelle friends and family, you do have to provide because it's like cash. If you pay with ACH, cash, check, you have to provide 1099 if you pay more than $600 per year.
But if you paid them with a credit card, you don't have to provide a 1099 at all, even if it's more than 600.
Yes, you don't have to.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Yeah. Only
what
cash.
does ACH stand for?
Automatic clearing house. So that's basically money moving from your bank account into another bank account, like direct deposit.
It's the end of the year. What questions do you have before you have to get your taxes done?
On mileage, if you're tracking mileage, take a picture of your speedometer, whatever tracks your miles, because you have to have this picture every year. Just if you IRS get audited you, then you can prove how much you run. For their purposes, you need to have this picture, the total mileage at the end of the year. Odometer, thank you so much, Suzanne. Oh my gosh. So yeah, awesome. I guess that's not time yet, right? Everybody in
No, we've got 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes to ask questions, y'all. Take advantage of this opportunity. If you are a BNI member, you can count this as a CEU. Just
okay. What again I share with you from my experience, separate your business and personal, please. Do it for you, not only for your bookkeeper, because if you hire a bookkeeper in the future, it will be cheaper for you because bookkeeper don't have to sift from personal and business. And it's also a huge red flag for IRS when you mingle between personal and business expenses.
So Suzanne wants to clarify, if we meet a client out for a meal or coffee, we can only deduct half of that cost. I don't pay for their meal, just my own.
I think yes, because it's 50%. And if you pay for both, then again, it's 50%.
It's still nice to be able to write off your coffee.
Yep.
It's so not entertaining if it's in a restaurant or a coffee shop.
But what is entertaining clients? But would that be entertaining clients? No, if you meet for a business purpose, if you meet with the prospect, it's not entertainment. Entertainment, it's like you're throwing a party in your office or bringing your whole crew, your remote crew to some kind of retreat.
Yeah, let's say that you are a real estate agent and you're throwing a pumpkin patch party for your clients. That's entertainment. Well, you have food and you have hot dogs and all that stuff there. That's entertainment. But if you were just to take a client out to dinner or meet them for coffee, that's a meal.
Yep. Is anybody here S corporation filing
I'm an
a
S corp.
Candace? Okay. So I don't know if you know about this. There's another very lucrative saving. But how do you run your business? Out of home? Do you have office or you don't?
It's currently home based.
Home based. Okay. Okay. So if someone is running, have an office, actual office, and also have a home, of course, you can rent your home to yourself.
And we did that for 15 years.
Awesome. Yeah. So there are savings there. Augusta law.
Yeah.
That's how it's called. And that you can rent it to yourself for shareholder meetings and track your minutes, and actually all the food you can deduct during these meetings. And it's total of 14 days per year.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have two locations, a brick and mortar and a home office, what if your other location is a church? Can you and you have an S corp? Can you pay rent on your home office if you run a church?
If you run a church?
Yeah, if you're like the pastor's wife.
Your pastor's wife. Okay, so church have their own books, which is non-profit.
Okay.
I don't think you can double milk it.
Okay. I was just asking because there's someone here in the room that would pertain to. So, but yeah, the being able to pay ourselves rent was a huge benefit when we had our brick and mortar location.
Yeah, and I know, guys, you may not have questions now, and it sounds all clear, but sign up with the link I provided. You just received 7 emails on the 7 steps, and you may have questions later. You can always reach out and ask, or you can find the answers in these emails, which and you will be provided also the workbook, a beautiful workbook where you can actually sort your expenses, pros and cons for banks, and all different things what I was talking about today. You can write it on this, and it will guide you through your process.
Excellent. Okay, last call for questions.
So yeah, so if you're out at a restaurant having dinner and you talk to somebody about your business, is that a business expense?
You met, I will put the links again, just if somebody just joined. So you in a restaurant and you met somebody there and you talked with them about your business, but you didn't buy. Okay, so you came with your family. Nah, it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
Just by myself. I'm at a restaurant having a dinner, and while I'm there,
okay. Did you advertise? Did you advertise somewhere that I will be here in this restaurant from this hour to this hour? You can meet with me there and ask any questions, or you just getting lunch and somebody stop by and hi, how are you? I'm running business. So. No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. But I am not a CPA. Again, I would verify with your CPA. There are some loopholes, but some of them are really, on edge. It's a stretch, I would say. So it's up to you and your CPA if you want to go this route. And again, it's no way for...
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no way for IRS to find out you went on this lunch alone or you went for a business meeting, right? It's actually some level of trust is there. So as a bookkeeper, I would say, don't cheat.
Don't cheat. All right. That was a fantastic information.
As a network marketer, you're always talking to people about your business.
Right, absolutely.
So thank you very much, Anna. That was fantastic. Remember, next month we're doing budgeting for solopreneurs. So now that you know what you can track, next month you're going to understand how to budget so that you're spending within your means. It's going to be great. All right. So
thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and thank you, Candace, for inviting me.
Thank you very, very much. Happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you in January. Thank you very much.
Happy holidays.
Take care, everybody.